Then the challenge over something like elegant month was about somebody speed up gave a picture look like in sixth grade about the dick this was the trick and twice the other but that's it's going on that way though you're right sparring you do and I have wet hook out make it big stick and make it fun. Well, I'm all this in the world. Now look at this, I eat the nice and hold on you that you want I actually forget adults that have no a short this piece on that we tell why it's down with I like you and because yeah, you're watching the hey, I didn't even need to count someone that earning here. You're the man, bro, saying wait that. You're like to do. You really can't. I like they did. They did the play. Can't you say it's a reference? And beautiful publicly with my failures. What nation under God this quote with liberty presence for all. You are able together to discuss the problems of the communities, give us guidance to make good decisions, and help us to behave in a fashion that is fitting for the future. Amen. That I understand. So, but, I be. Next item, hearing of visitors, each visitor can speak for 5 minutes. You have to be signed up in the back. And when you go up to speak, the first thing you got to do is announce what your address is. And but I think it's not a debate. So when you speak for 5 minutes, at the end of that 5 minutes, you're done. You don't get a second chance. Okay? Okay, bring it here. That's what I'm saying. You're long. Fuck tight. I'm trying to keep some order, but I'm not that. The United States thing. Sorry. All right. You know what? It's funky. You the first one. Get to speak. Thank you. Should sleep. Michelle. Scout's not. He's like outside. You go with somebody next? I call somebody else. That's all right. Don't inside. Krista, Rummy, Drummer. Man. You listen. And doing this, I hope to it. Yeah. A little shocked to be here. Mostly shocked about what's happened. It's really sad thing because not only what's happened in the past, but going forward, how do we move forward? This isn't something that, 700 apartment. This isn't something that happened every month. This has been going on for a while. I read somewhere that they said that the euthanasia diets are up somewhere in the police department. It's animal, the animal control part of the police department, isn't it? A division of it? No. So they don't have access. Right? Did nobody notice whenever nobody really purchased these things that there was a never-ending supply? Did they not wonder where all these animals were going? And what's heartbreaking is there have been so many programs and so many organizations who will come forward. They will help your city. They will give you programs. They'll give you, they'll kind of train you for that matter. And great, there are things available. So it's not a matter of even money. It's just cruel and completely inhumane. How can you not know that this is going wrong? I mean, you are the man. You're responsible ultimately. Allow this to continue. Allow for Timmy to say, well, I don't know. I'm not aware. Or allowing it to, if she doesn't speak about it, that you're just going to let it go and not charge them for each and every individual dog that was killed. And this is improper euthanasia. This is animal cruelty. Laugh that check. Shooting a dog in Texas was a felony. I don't know to say you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
I'm Michelle Wagner. I'm here.
Okay.
Would like to take this.
Yeah, now you may not have been here whenever you need to give your address before you start.
My physical address?
Where you live, yeah.
Like you like to say,
We need the street and the city.
I said, you want me to announce my address? Okay, 125 Dawn Drive, Silsbee, 77656.
Okay.
You, I'm Michelle Bagger. I'm going to the rescue. And the water found the dogs. I don't know. This dog was killed and thrown in our creek in a wood. If you sit up and you say that you don't know what's going on in your city, this has been going on for 2 weeks. It's been on with me, and you're going to give me the excuse you don't know. And then you're going to sit here and let Deanne Zimmerman investigate when she's the cousin of Josh Nolan?
Yes.
That is a dog that I pulled out of the creek myself. These dogs were shot
That's a
in
damn
the
fact.
head because our city council will provide the necessary drugs to properly euthanize them and dispose them. You want to throw it all on Josh Nolan? It's not just Josh Nolan.
That's all of them.
It's not Josh Nolan. I've seen personally these see it, and I've offered to my help. I did either barbecue, I was clean, I would go, I was anything that you needed me to do to help me get a shelter. You should never reach back out to me. I told you we can work together or let me do anything. Get your head out your butt and then keep your damn job.
Now, you about to get like I thought.
If you think it's your job and stop letting this corruption going on in your city.
Yeah.
The biggest dog that I dealt with, y'all brushing underneath the bed like nothing was happening, and then you're gonna slap him on the wrist with a misdemeanor? I mean, are you kidding me? A misdemeanor. Every one of y'all need to think about what y'all are doing and not support the community and find a resolution to our problem of the dog being overrun and we're here. We have qualities and element like. If you write a fine, then your sheriff or your cops write a fine in this city to animals that are being neglected and abused. Not one ticket I have been out on many calls with some of these people. Many calls for Josh Nolan to help him out of my time and my rent. If you don't want me here to your job up here, I tell you, there you get trouble and you get a have a sheet.
Oh, I'm saying it. Well,
One point I knew that was wrong. It's had 2 weeks and I've had this dog. Not one person in authority has asked me, look at the dog.
I don't care.
They don't care. They don't care what you
Get from the dog, you know, that's right.
No, no.
see that stress rain. Find my
Stay on my route too. Hey, well, no take it. Thank you for that.
Well, you're not going to do that.
You then can do this.
I follow everything I touch and I need.
Well, no, best. No, all right, with you. How it's the case, that's doing really good.
Last name is
What they call them? They are like the dogs. I'm up with this street up. Okay.
last sentence mentioned.
You did.
Okay.
8414 Greater Drive, Silsbee, Texas. Mayor, you're an elected official.
That would feel good.
You need to lose your job and you all need to be replaced. This is you all are animals.
I attended the part of my family. You choked me, this is out.
Okay, you all here know what's going on in your own city. They couldn't know. So don't look at me like you're surprised that we're up here and we're all living. We're mad. It's unacceptable. It's cruelty.
Sleep tonight.
I'll fight it.
That's all I have to say. You're elected. You need to lose your job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take you didn't go that process something push. We're gonna send my sword with this. I need to get the beats. You want to help you though? No, but I'm living there. There's something like with your mind. Likes the morning now. I be true lessons. Keep lady nervous and now elections. I'll get on the stone. But it could be like that. There would paint. I've been not what I became. I mean, he got the something that kind of slid out. How it the coverage and one knowledge things like I didn't get me that time. So all they could do is then I was in wrong. They got it hard underneath that. But that mark it has to be put on. That's I guess you for that. But you know what? Like,
I never 3 years. And they just did the first flames that dog that it. You're fine. That's not I saw it out of group. Like I've had a lot of was like about gas. I've had really was like about sport. Not about
Later about your first, the Bible. See, they're making
it's to be a tip of like before I spoke. You know.
so
He said something right. I said, you don't know. Because, no, no, the little smart around. He's alright, he's the kind of food. They took that sort of thing while. So, can't you? But he's John. Exactly. We do not get their activist of my family now.
it's probably right here down there.
Those are like to see foul, and which like,
And that wings are good for
that. Yeah, another.
There is we didn't do stamps about
Nothing so.
Gary Romero.
both trips. And you put up with this complex. Okay.
I was you.
So the bad was
I mean, it's like a canvas.
okay.
Like that. But even if it's 25 kids, has in as Q circle. We're out of the six. But we moved here 2 years ago. And he's wow. And in that 2 years, we have accumulated 12 dogs. It's of 12. And I initially reached out to Josh and was asking him, like, can I get some help? You know, we moved here with 3, and people just keep coming out there and dumping. And it's just a vicious cycle. And he pretty much told me that his hands are tied. That I had 2 options. Either he goes, most people out there just shoot them, or bring it into the city limits, right where the city, you mentioned, I guess a lot of people dump dogs, that's the bridge, and to drop them off there, but not get caught. I know that, you know, the whole thing with the animal shelter, I feel like y'all closing it down is going to be a domino effect for us that live outside of the city limits. It's a huge problem out there with people dumping dogs. We took in 2 puppies, the girl ran over it. She's like, oh, he doesn't do nothing. You know, his leg was completely broken down. And it's just, you know, it's only been 2 years and we've accumulated 12. We've had them all spayed. We've had them all neutered. This comes out of my pocket. We paid for their vaccinations, for their food. And I feel like getting rid of the animal shelter here is like the worst thing that can happen. I think that y'all need to get together, and my husband used to write grants, and there are so many grants out there for this issues that y'all are having here. I also feel that Josh is not the only one to blame here, and I really feel that his hands were tied, and he told me several times that his hands were tied and that there was nothing that he could do. And having a budget for $500 for dog food for a year, I mean, we spend $300 every 2 weeks to feed all of these strays that we've taken in. And I feel like the city needs to, there's so much help. We came from Houston, there's so many programs. You know, I get it, like the demographics out there, it's more lower income, but there's low income programs to get them spayed and neutered. You know, I know that they said that, or Josh on the statement said that most of the dogs that were shot were aggressive. But it's just, I think the city of Silsbee needs to really look into getting a grant to build a bigger facility, because
I've never seen it this bad anywhere. And we come from Houston, and it's pretty bad in Houston. But one thing about Houston and here is that they take care of those animals. They don't shoot them. They euthanize them all for good. And that is all cool.
Cool. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Let's take it up. I could this is pretty good now.
Susan Lynn.
This you go get them. Pick up the
They don't need Susan Glenn.
probably a rich when you need a temper. Yeah, but the motion. The people should look. I did. We also made one marking one and give her very sweet cookie. Like the put in you.
With what? Well, I need your address. Live.
Eat 40 chip move happy on 30 seconds. And so king and fell side. It rather.
And go to pick up.
Okay. Well, first, I want to bring up the grants issue. Whether why are we not? If you guys are too small for just Silsbee, or just kids, or just or not just, but
All
Lumberton, why don't we band together as one great big huge fertility shelter so that you have employees that will watch each other, make sure everybody's doing their jobs? Because the thing that gets me about this, the whole thing, is they get in shape. They'll like it in shape. They'll like it knowing where they went, the out shape. There's like no supervision. I don't think I've ever met somebody in my life that was able to go to a job and literally no one ever cared what he was doing at that job. From what they say and how it looks on the inside, not clean, and we all know because I'm taking pictures in this kind of cart, and you guys are out there cleaning it like crazy now. Broken beds, everything. So that is what one for you understand if you can't do it alone, not knowing that you can band together and get at that. If you want an example, my daughter-in-law, she's from North Carolina, Avery County, and they literally got donations. They opened up a shelter. People don't even have an animal catcher. People in the community bring the animals to them, and then they help find homes. They all work together. So the other thing is, so you have a shelter that's out in Timbuktu in the woods. There's no Silsbee shelter like where by Parkers, so that people were driving in and out of town, Silsbee shelter this way. Or even when you get in the neighborhood, the small little, what's the name of that tree? Woodville? There was no even there. You don't even see a sign saying that there's a shelter there until you actually can visibly see the shelter there. I've gone by so many times to try to catch dogs there to see if I can volunteer so I can see inside. One side of the life, it's no longer posting the dogs on the social media. I'm like, where did these dogs go? Well, I was calling, I tried to make these, and they were working with rescues, but then showing you so much, they can't take all the dogs, so then where did the overflow go? You know, there was no answer for any of these. Where the dogs went, what rescue they went to, because why? Because he said he didn't have a laptop. You know, we do have paper and pencils all over this country, so that could have been. Where is the oversight for any of that? Did y'all not want to know what he was doing out there? Or care what he was doing in the woods? I just moved here in 2024, and I haven't had a problem for the first 6 months of 3 big dogs running back and forth behind. I've got a video of it. And I have a 4-year-old grandbaby. Well, now she's 4, but when we first moved in, she was 3. That I had to worry about these dogs eating it. And I have a fenced-in yard. The rest of it's fenced in, but they can climb over, do whatever. And I was just always told that it didn't matter. So why do we not have a leash law? People do not have a right just to open their front door and say, okay, no, don't do whatever you want for 3 hours, go, you know, find some to eat, girls, and make some buddies, and make some people take care of them. It doesn't make any sense to me. Just because you live in a county, it shouldn't be that way.
But you might need to address that with the county committee, because I think they're on the same page. But
Blaine's all
go ahead, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're fine. And then the volunteers, why is there not like a web page or something showing new volunteers think about a certain hour in the day? If he had to go on a call, then someone could have been there helping them clean it up. And why you don't have a web page for the actual Silsbee shelter, like any other entity that you guys have? Why is there not one that shows the dogs and what's happening to them? And did he or did he not have a scanner to scan for the chips? So he was no longer posting this like lead up front scan, me, is this your dog? How was he to know that the dogs that he was giving away or killing was actually somebody's pet that they're looking for?
Right.
You could probably top the stage next week. Them just one.
Yes, they did. Yeah, so he was up at us. And so basically the other thing is, it says up your day, was Silsbee shelter a kill or not kill shelter? Was it supposed to be a no kill shelter? Or was it a kill shelter the whole time?
Bond it.
They're not allowed to answer.
What?
Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
They're kidding.
They're not allowed to. You're just.
That's
hearing in the back. There's not a lot of answer yet.
Is it your turn?
Yes.
That is not my.
Mayor said,
It was always the night, so.
All we want is what's up to eat.
Because we have any other.
But then you can't answer us. You can't.
In the weeks, Simon, well, there's sickness in it. I want to I got it. All the kiddos, and I'm like, how they answering down? Because they so all those issues from the shelter are the agenda for the meeting on the 6th.
And then on the 16th,
After the back, we can't hear
the same, the same.
Facebook and the internet made it about to know.
Okay.
It's going to be.
Urgency negative about.
Yeah, so you're saying
The fact that
the
it
16th of this month, it's
on my leg at 23 draft to stay the crowd right there. All those issues for shelter are going outside. Following the agenda for the Korea. So come in with the
there. And has anybody, I've been just on going by Birthwood, they said that there is only hot water out there. There is no cold
no,
water.
it's the feet for
Mine, I just like, list how many. They other.
I they sat at restaurant. People, I think they know cutting it. They don't like beat them out. Might be. Well, it's just stuff I don't think.
Okay, yeah, but like it is there, we don't address it, is the fact, I don't know, to the East Native medicine. Somebody says that they did not have records of so the county had any sedential medicine period whatsoever. And then somebody else said that they did have it and it was sent to the city hall. So that is very about 5. Did we have executive medicine here or did we not? In the mics, and they thought jury on my phone, now they're quiet.
Good March. You died.
In fact, that's, you know, that was mentioned that here on this hill. So I'm curious if God, he bet you and what you were doubted at the place of not doing. He said he was hearing it and said, yeah, because not that he should have asked. Wouldn't it that it's right? You was just using the right protocol, which like that, so because then for you can always say to, when you spend years 1 day a week or 2 days a week, you could have 1 day a week that someone who was out and does it, you know, paying for with how you make it and not being sorry for that. If you're at the girls over.
Right.
Within a one Calican minute, we might fall. Good butterfly. Up your corner, you're calling, I get down. I'll fucking big. I'm just cut at the front. These the later. I got key. He shuts up.
Jerry, Renee, Anthony.
I'll fight.
Can you hear me?
These kind of extract your voice.
Looks nice. Comes. See. Under the chair, you let me out beside either one on train lane so we could catch. I was one with all the rescuers. You were gonna get lost or we fetish so either what's this? I was the package that called those all gets to that course. Twins out so first. How do we? But he led me on hustle now he met him. We told him, hey, you bring dogs in. If you pick us, let us know you got one. Skin come by. I had another rescue lady. So come by, see picture. We go ahead and try to, I'll share all the pains that we were running, all my volunteers. We also spent over to try to go back to the owners, get their loans. Or also you hope we could spend 2 hours so we can get them adopted out.
So choose.
We're also supposed to adopted shelter. Josh took self-helping, and it was not going to get the advice, so this should give the nice, give us instant. So this was a big shock to me of what that's what Josh had shown me, or angled, he's all over everybody wall. They look like they're everywhere gone.
I was through the animal liver. We y'all should have compassion of thousands of the should be taken. They are God's creatures. We have to culture you. I know we are in a bad situation with the human population. We need to work with y'all to get like low cost AMS programs. We need a bigger shelter so we can challenge this. We not need to be a third world country, but we're overran by animals. We've already got advocates and you started that looking. We're trying to take care of the main ones, dogs. They have to be devoted. I told them, you know, what to say now. When I spoke to Josh before, when he put on there, he needed dog food for all the dogs. Our community came forth and gave heels on the lot, and that's because, oh, I don't need the war record. And it felt me in another advocate that the city can now don't think capacity for self. Now it should be thankful that our community wants to help. And it helps y'all in a way. And I don't know all about it. But it does help y'all in laundering to the city. But it's also food taking it. Right now with my husband and I, we got 13 dogs we're taking care of. 7 of our own that were rescued. We fell in love. That's when I met Josh when I came and got one of our out of the shelter, and because one of the thorns died that was mistreating for the ports, but we got also we ended up adopting is the best dog ever. We've got other dogs we've taken in out of our own foster care. And we follow my husband and I were in our cages, I'm not mistaken, and we don't follow these babies every 2 hours. And we're just hunting at our arms, what I've been there with these dogs, scratches, and it's putting a damper on myself. But we've got hunting together, and so, I mean, we've got 3 mornings left that we've been fostering my son. We have multi and all, they're old enough now, 4 even those healing Tuesday. This is all of our pockets. All these people here, they volunteer. We don't get paid for anything. Y'all do.
That for fun.
Not paid. I mean, y'all around in the city. I mean, you should be proud of your city and want to take care of it. Correct, sir. Go look at dog in the waterway or in a ditch on the side of the road. Because I say there's one that's on foot, come pick it up. Now, when it's in the county, I get a hold of the county. Or we post it on Facebook, and the owners are happy that we their status, but they're happy that they have to go here. The other places that he's put down, well, he's put our stone this to the animal, they must help that it's. And plus, very much for I mean, yeah,
Thank you for coming.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Come on.
See if I can see color.
And house, yes, I'll take to you.
Did everybody that filled out my form get a chance to speak?
Well,
About
So it's like,
like you let it.
and it will be on our agenda.
Get your kid.
I've already got a copy of it.
You get by a sticky.
Just what to do with
Peter's not got to speak.
My name hasn't been called. I was the secretary sometime you lady.
what?
My name hasn't been called.
Okay, well, I thought I had one out.
Should I come out?
Thank you.
I think I've got it, right? Are you Renee?
No, I'm telling you.
You
President,
not even any the studio.
go ahead.
Go ahead, yeah.
82 according to
Better.
I actually prepared a written statement. This is the 3rd time I've changed it because so many things have changed because I just in the last 2 weeks. That's me.
The options aim for a balanced perspective of trying to remain positive, but either really challenging or topic. I mean, try and bring up public, not be played, but to sort of it's essential that there is community involvement and accountability for your animal control. And from what I understand, there is not established committee to regulate, observe, and monitor still the animal control. So I think it would be essential to propose that an ad hoc committee be implemented immediately as an interim measure until an examining committee is established. The ad hoc committee could act as a task force to address the immediate needs of animal control while formalizing long-term governance structure, clear expectations, regular check-ins, and define consequences and outcomes based on the crystal clear. I've been inside the shelter is ghosty, and I know that there's bullet markings on the walls of the kennels. And I don't know what the circumstances are, when they are spurred, or why they occurred. I just know that speaking for myself and my own core values, that I feel that we must act as civil, compassionate human beings, so lead by example. And normalizing animal cruelty is a mistake. People become desensitized to it, so dumping animals becomes just the normal part of what people do, and they just laugh it off in a lot of circumstances. Not staying, neutering, allowing animals to run at large is becomes normal. And every animal deserves a peaceful, dignified end of life, not a violent one. Only professional euthanasia provides a truly pain-free passing, and we have a responsibility as human beings to act like human beings. And what was recently shared with me is that there is another allegation that the previous ACO who would take the dog to the dump on a Friday afternoon, so that he didn't have to come to the shelter room and he cares and attend to them. And I'm happy to hear that community is right. City council and law enforcement, as I do have the name, and I just don't want to say it out last year's public chance. This was somebody that knew about it, and if people knew about it, they need to answer to those allegations. We need to examine the reasons why the animals are dumped and focus on the root causes and primary factors should be looked at to start addressing the actual problem with the why people are dumping these animals, why they're throwing families into their own office. Is it socioeconomic, behavioral? Do they need help in their littering? We need to identify these problems as the first steps, but let's support the mechanisms and implement preventing measures. I also believe law enforcement plays a very key role in deterring the abandonment and mistreatment of animals. Henderson County Sheriff and the Trinity Sheriff's Department are two examples of law enforcement taking serious action against such cruelty, and they both regularly post on their social media, including mug shots and stories of those being arrested. Kids are well received by the public, and it builds bridges and supports youth and trust that the general population as well. People need to be aware that dumping animals and condemning them to a flow of torture and death for starvation, risk of being shot by a car, etc. are extremely cruel, and it needs to stop. If they can't capture an animal, they shouldn't be instituting that they're getting one, and they are commitments and a responsibility, and therefore just dumping them or a punishment. In my final comments, it's something that I wanted to bring up that I've heard multiple times about people saying they didn't want to come forward out of fear from preventing for it. And on Paul Muir's page, the same true to these quotes, there is a long-standing lack of accountability and transparency going back to deep, polluted, good old boys. Now, I don't know who these good old boys are, or who these people are referring to, but this day and age, when it's still unsafe to expect consent because they perceive there's going to be retribution, that is very wrong. And a much broader range of perspective, I confessional that they need to be taking place. There's no place for good old boys way of thinking. 2026 is not out of tone. So, yes, sir. Thank you. In closing, I just want to say that a true council take the decisive action on these issues because I would prefer to get us handled by the current leadership. And please don't think of that. If the situation is not resolved, I will charge them for a seat myself and ensure that the community gets the representation that need. And in the meantime, I offer you my full support in helping implement an ad hoc committee, fundraising, volunteering, whatever you need, in the positive and constructive manner. I'm available. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, any of you guys that want to come back and give your input on what you'd like to see in an animal shelter, well, go back with it on that agenda item, which, I'm sorry, but it takes like 4 working days being posted before we can put something on the agenda.
Maybe.
So we call a special meeting like this. This isn't a regular meeting. We call it to take care of a specific item. We have to get it on the agenda before
Yeah.
then. And that didn't happen this time, but you're welcome to come back. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Now we're gonna get, down to our regular business. Item to be considered, discussion and possible action on approving resolution number 26-05. A resolution creating the civil tax authority to acquire administrative services provided community development.
No, my constant. I like rat.
But yeah, about a bag right?
I mean, cars about you come age and don't just worry. Can't I was living and you are yes on S LFT. Great work. Two every 203. They have like CS whereas LFC Sport 2.5.
They to do the great work. You can run those things with that. I'll make a motion. When we order grant works, the administrative service provider contract, we use those grant program. Funds be allocated to this department operating program.
Yeah. But I don't feel.
Do we have a second?
Up to the yeah, I'm pioneer. So to me.
Do we have a second? Is there any discussion on this?
See, but it's
I know that's errors on this. The store you talk about. We get the store and what did that have?
well, I think well, I need to outing it very so sharp to that. We have a summit lady exactly these thicker kind of the air very much new and the other these two called okay so for the I live on it so well and you only got two it's rather go
What is it? And what is this grant no vote?
it's for the
Yes, ma'am.
disaster recovery infrastructure restoration and improve this economic realization and long-term community resilience. And this is applying for the application for it, but you haven't got awarded it yet. But if you do, you have to have your engineer grant something your first to work. Rather than thinking that guy.
So,
That was Grace with at this town session for meeting. If y'all remember, it's on their last file. If you only had one submit and then made us do it again. And so we had to change it until we could do it again and they got with it. We had it cured and the rating and the rating issues done during the daytime. And I usually try to move the different board members to fill at least one board member on it.
all I see is the money resolution page. You know, the backup. You want out top of it. I'll have to back done. Yeah, we're good. Like down. But then y'all saying we picked somebody, and I'm listening to what Kurt said, and I missed who he said he picked. He read on in the back. But she did in your package who he picked.
Well, the committee met today, and then we got a rating sheet, and there has to be free people. As it says, a free people.
I'm just gonna say, from this amount of information, I'm on this thing. I don't feel like we've got enough information to understand what we're doing. That's why you have the rating. But it shows the rating. You have the rating sheet. Yeah, he read it. But you have the sheet. Like, can you guys create the sheets for this? Oh, sheet.
How did everybody on the call with that yet?
Is
Criteria, that sheet up is the.
oh, I get that. That's here. Okay, I'll be up. Go ahead. That's all three. So I can on there.
You got the shields.
Oh,
You do, she, well, then I got a little tongue, but she coming up on the other side wire set. But this is how you get it down through 4 years. I'll let us out and then that
goes out.
Titus.
I know it's there.
Y'all, study on all that other information back off. My phone. Lighthouse. Long's good.
The thing look at that on. Things that I talk about. The ground. Everything like that.
Hang in there, guys.
We could.
This is, I understand what you're saying.
I'm sorry. I'll be tell that. It's the great design when we get out of time. Look, what the better chips and restrictions that are going on. So, I can't say it right now. I don't use them. That is not good. Yeah, it's like costing me. All the rock saying all the voice. Should I wait to that? I seen them. Well, don't see up here the night. You know. They keep up blowing chips with.
Grant works, when our CRS back, we're doing our annual,
In the meantime, so while we're finding that, can you tell us the good news about the,
It's not on the agenda.
not on the agenda?
No,
Just the new.
Okay,
still got authority. Let's get it.
yeah, no.
okay,
Okay, Chubby Paul. It is.
okay, let's get down to number 3.
Hey,
Table,
yeah.
Hey, story.
Table Frick.
table, not the table, we need on the table.
Trey.
Yeah, him attack.
Hey,
Okay,
nice. Get it. Where did it hurt? Wait,
here we go.
there's not so many growing up, but no. Hey, sort of that went serious. Y'all know.
We might have to table that.
Yeah,
We might well table it to y'all, bring it back and we can have stuff.
Okay, so the problem with it is, it's on the last agenda,
So
and it has to be on this one, to vote on it, because
That's why we called the meetings tonight, because it's the deadline is today.
Well,
obviously, I've never seen it, you have a committee that meets because they want it to be done fair. It has to consistent spreadsheet, and you grade them, you go through their books, you look at them, it's called grading commission.
The one we won't have a discussion,
go.
And what do you think about that?
to know what the depth of those people, they're trying to.
But that's what your grading committee does. I mean, the law says you're supposed to, I'm supposed to select the 3-member rating company, a group, and if 3 people rate them and go over, and you go through the book, you look at all their credentials and rate them. And then the committee brings, that's what the Procurement Act tells you to do. And then we bring it back to y'all for approval of whoever was longer, and that's always been done.
But they bring back approval, just only one that's approved.
Well, when you rate them, you know, one person's rating, the other person's rating, and the other person's rating based on the book. And when you get through, you have the answers to whoever's got the highest score, so you're gonna recommend that it gets to, based on how long their staff's been there, what kind of jobs they've done.
Just because they rate the high, don't mean they want to, might be okay for us. Bill,
Well, no, I'm not putting my recommendation out against whatever Kirk recommended, y'all wish that. I mean, you got a choice of 2, you only have 2 people submit, and you out for bid, so. Or for what question, qualifications what,
So, the question I have is how long have we been working on this?
and,
How long have we known about this grant?
and I told y'all about it a couple months ago, and then we started the procurement process, and then it was on the last agenda, and you didn't have but 1 person, and we told y'all that GLO made us go out for procurement again, and then there's a time frame you gotta go through before that committee meets, and picks, selects a company based on a qualification, and runs a recommendation for you. And then by the 16th, you got to vote to pick one, and you only had 2.
Yep.
And both, you did what, administration,
Or let's
engineering?
Grant control rating, yeah, administration, and then
in the what? They still connect.
Not, I mean, it was crazy.
look, recommendation, grant work, look at this, administration, and Sean Bird, full.
Vortex. Yeah, go.
I'm talking about, it's what it is for grant.
Oh, so yeah, sorry, networks and CSRS LLC.
We got no issues there that went 500, and then the CSR
Yes,
or
sir.
is the one that you just recently hired to do comprehensive stuff, that she's the one now about that grant. So that's the only particulars did watch it. And the state makes you show it while you say it.
There was some.
I have to say it like 13 different groups.
Good, want to be on the committee next time?
Something.
I mean, I alternated. I did mayor, to what two council members. I got the team I did the last summer. I fetched Kurt. Advanced is down it.
If you have boards, then a couple, more than 2 of your council members on the committee, then you got to put it on the agenda, actually, all agree to speak it. That's why she only has one person on the, one house member on the next, so committee. That's, so, I'll say how deep with that, it is how it is to address, if you're not going to get there, much feedback from me, if you're not up there asking for something on the last day, can't get it on the day, it's gotta be today, you gotta make a decision today, but it's blank, and get the comments about that you want to be on the committee. Well, I wasn't asked to be on the committee because I didn't know about it, committee, and I just don't like the approach. But seeing how there's only 2 people applied, and Kurt helped, and he feels like the committee has done their due diligence, and we picked the best of 2. I'm not gonna fight y'all on moving forward. I'm fighting y'all on everything being the last minute.
Deal, are you on that committee, then?
So I'm not fighting about being on the committee or what. I'm just saying, you throw this up here and we look up here and you know, it's 2 blank pages, says section.
But Bruce, there wasn't time to do any other way.
There was 2 months ago.
But we did bring
There was 2 months
We
ago.
had to do an extra procurement because we didn't have enough people.
it insulted us, and we explained to the council that why we couldn't do it, and we asked the council to table it because GOO was making us go out again for the process.
Maybe
I'm
I'm
gonna explain,
But-
table it, we had a week.
We'll
first time out to the in the fight, but
go for my notes.
December of 2020.
When we got it, we immediately brought it to y'all's attention about the grant. And then when we got ready to do the procurement, we got y'all's approval for that. When the quotes come in, we only had 1, and they told us we had to redo it. And we had a line item on the agenda for y'all to vote on it again, but GOO said no. We told y'all that they said we could not do it because we didn't have a 1. That we was gonna have to have a special call meeting before the next meeting for the selection committee meet to get it done. And so that's what we did. And so this is the next.
When did we get
We should get part.
paperwork? When the first time you looked at the paperwork, the week stuff? Get it December,
Are you talking
January?
about an agenda or the fact that the grant of South Cherokee to fund?
sorry.
I'm trying to find out, you said we got 2 months, 2 months. When did we know about it?
I mean, I'll have to pull the last meeting, but it was discussed in all 3 of them. Y'all knew that we had
It
to
might
do
have been just cut, that's not right. What, when did we first know about it?
Okay, Brooke said it was on the February agenda.
When did we first know about it?
And that nice.
When I told y'all under city managers to report 4-hour months to that there was a grant out there that I was looking into, that what the grants were to come to.
Yeah, so thank you, now of the
And I told them about it. And that I was gonna apply for it. And then in February, we did it, and it was there for us to vote to do it. And we had already went through the procurement. 1 person had submitted. They made us do it again. And I brought it to y'all's attention and told us that they was redo it. But there's a deadline on this grant. And if y'all needed to vote on it on the 16th, you have to have that, selection committee had to meet and have the grant consultant and the engineer here for the job. But you are right, you do not have to give it to these people if you don't listen. Yeah, we pick the other company if you want the other company. But they're the only 2 that submitted, and you don't have time to go through procurement again.
Well, I mean, I like Bruce, I mean, I just want to keep the price up the other side, you know, not let it, don't let it go wrong with it.
Well, but we thought we
That's why
we didn't know that.
That's why I'm asking for the job to you.
One was gonna submit. That, it was like a 3-month window to get everything done on this grant. with a one of those fast grants.
Different.
And we started the process in January. This had to be completed in March. But it's just when we got to the February to pick the company on one side, and they made us, we called them, and they told us we had to re-procure. Procurement requires certain days in between putting in the paper and stuff, so we had to go through the datas.
We have a motion on the floor, and we have a second.
With it.
And we've had discussion. Is there any further discussion? Okay. All those in favor of approving this motion, you want to repeat it?
Yeah, here. The recommendation is the motion to award grant works, the award administrative service provider contract for the community development block grant program with funds being allocated to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development.
Okay. All those in favor of that motion, say aye. Okay. With that aye, is there all those opposed? Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. All right. Item 2, discussion and possible action on approving resolution number 26-06, a resolution of the city of Silsbee, Texas, authorizing the award of engineering service provider contract for the community development block grant with funds being allocated through the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development.
I'm still married to you, Peter.
This is the engineering, rating. There's 4 companies that applied, Schonberg and Polk, Pitts and Shipman Lead, and LJA Engineering. The recommendation is Schonberg and Polk with 252 points. I'll make the motion that we award Schonberg and Polk engineering service provider contract, community development program grant, block grant with funds being allocated to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. He promised that you were
What's the cost of the one about annual release and effort? I think that makes sense. Then, what's the cost for the engineering portion? I know it comes out of grant, but
And I don't know the answer to that, because you haven't got the grant,
yeah.
okay? So you don't know if you get the grant, how much of it is engineering, but there's a standard percent that they would charge and say that grant instructor. They are only allowed to get a certain percent, like 10%, 6%, and it's stated in the contract that you get awarded the first.
So each one of these engineering firms that apply agreed to accept the grant provided percent.
Yes, I think that sometimes their amounts are different, but they can't go over a certain amount. I think it's like 10%, 6%. I have to
The
look.
follow-up question is, was the amount they wanted to charge part of the scoring system?
Remember, you can't negotiate with the engineering firms about price.
But you can grade them by price.
No, you can't.
No, it's not on the criteria.
Yeah, this is just,
I'll check the order on that, boss.
Yeah, engineering price, you can't pay the.
I'm gonna check you on that, because we can't just blindly spend the city's money with no recourse. Do they charge what they want? That's what we've been doing all these years.
With engineering firms, it works differently though. Professional services
I
firm.
understand that, but they still have a negotiated price.
Yeah, you negotiate the contract based on their qualifications, and then you negotiate the price. And if you can't negotiate the price after the qualifications, then you restart negotiations with another firm. But it's the best at this, it didn't have to wait.
So, but if that's the case, when you bring that back to it, that has to go. If you look at some of the contractors who's already doing, some of the engineer prices were ridiculous. I mean, and we never pushed it one time about trying to go back and reopen
But
it.
the states and the feds do, they only let them have a certain portion.
I said it, but if say it's 50, one of them might come back and say, hey, let's do it at 6%. By the time you get through, they got all the change orders in there, they got all the other costs in there, now it's a 10% plus.
Engineering's not gonna, I mean, the percentage of the engineering is ultimately the same percentage.
See, these are more questions like, how many types of projects like this have they ever done? Will you go through their book on projects they said they've done?
Have y'all really looked over some of those thinking work that I had? And if you look at some of the properties that were there, that were ridiculous, what they started there. Now, the private does, makes it themselves.
Yep. But what is that? How is it getting put salary?
Got a lot to do with that. Means that, you know, we might not be on top of our business like we need to be when it comes down to some of these engineers.
Well, we're going to talk about that like in situations.
You know, I go look at some of them. These engineers sit there and tell us stuff and we do it, and do it. And then when we come back up, we got the same things hit back in place again. And the same engineer was the one that gave us paperwork first, man. They came back, we back in the same problem every time again.
Well, Thomas, that's honestly why, you know, some of the stuff got rated, that wouldn't be used all the time, low. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's engineers that we use here all the time, that even give a higher score on because of that simple fact right here.
I mean, I'll sit there and the engineer one day tell me about such situation, and now it's back up at us again. Same project, it's back at us again. And they put the information they gave us the first time, did not solve the problem. And while we're trying to worry about looking at them again.
When I look at that, where we always use there, didn't get out of order.
They're new. He said that I faith, but I was enough to say it.
Okay, you got the car a little bit
Toward or sure.
We don't have a second on that motion, please.
I don't have a motion.
I make the better.
Oh,
I'll second it.
Okay. Bruce is gonna second. Is there any other discussion on it? Okay, all in favor?
I thought.
Opposed? Okay, there's no opposed. Did you have anything, Stevens? You had, okay, that's unanimous. Okay.
It's not the end. Yeah, they say that.
Okay, plus,
We'll do three?
Yeah.
Okay. Discussion and possible action on approving quote for fencing at the city lawn. Public Works Director.
This is a budgetary item, this year's budget.
Budgetary item is $65,000. You got 3 quotes. First one, F&M, $56,945.60. That is cheap. That is putting the new one up and taking down the old fence. Second one is Drake Tree Fence Services. This was $50,500 plus and another $10,000 to remove the old fence and made it $60,500. Allied Fence and Associates of Silsbee was $67,571.69. But theirs does not include taking it down, so I recommend F&N to y'all. $6,945.50.
This is at the barn, at the corner of, Garden and Woodrow.
Yes, and the TDQ has rolled us up for the last inspection.
Okay.
For the fence.
Is it all the way around it or?
It's all the way around, plus the new property that we have purchased around the two. So that we're gonna be.
Well, that's gonna be added and included in.
What did you purchase?
when it's public and that were about, what, 55 to the board, we know.
Yeah, 56,000.
Yeah, they gonna remove their old fence, they gonna remove the old.
How tall a fence is it?
Sir,
How tall?
6 foot, those 3 strand barbed wire cord.
How much different was that price when they,
Sir,
how much different the price was it if it was when they put it?
along the Drake, you're looking at about almost about 45, I'm sorry, and in Rochester.
No, yeah. You said a 6 foot fit.
Yeah.
If it had been 8, you know, it'll get right. They just did it.
Yeah, it's that, it's at the 3 strand barbed wire, so it's close.
Yeah, it's bringing out the water line. Yes. Did I understood you said you're representing FNT?
Yes.
And on what first of what dates we did. But
Okay, do we have a motion?
the way. After the one to the sir, the way of autism, the other meetings, the doing every entity, the government center, so I'm looking out. This is what about on the page stream. I said,
The motion in a second. Is there any discussion on it? Okay, all those in favor, say aye. Opposed? Okay, motion carried.
Good.
Okay. This is the one you guys all wanted to get to, right here, item 4. Presentation of certificate of unopposed candidates for upcoming May 2026 election. City manager.
Disciplinarians are. Let's put open another bar. The
Okay,
should put that.
certification of unopposed candidates for City of Silsbee general election. I'll read Spanish too.
well, it's a copycat of he looks you just have to read that.
Okay. 2. Presiding officer of governing body. As the authority responsible for having the official ballot prepared, I hereby certify that the following candidates are unopposed for election to office for the election scheduled to be held on May 2, 2026. List officers and names of candidates.
up the seat.
Council member District A, Bruce K. Council member District B, William Bass. Council member at large, place 1, Tina Young Holman. It is signed, Deanne Zimmerman. City Secretary, March 12, 2026. Okay, item 5, we don't,
Yeah, I think that one.
okay, there's no action on that.
After it just says 100% to you for you to be able to act on with the time.
Okay,
Yeah.
somebody must have thought you guys are doing a mighty good job.
No, beautiful.
All right. Item 5, discussion and possible action on approving ordinance number 26-04, an ordinance in the city of Silsbee, Texas, canceling the May 2, 2026 city election and declaring each unopposed candidate elected to the office. City manager.
And it says that the election code requires that he present the city secretary to present you with a certificate of election if there wasn't any, they had no opposition. And then the election code requires you to do the ordinance, and I'll send it to the city attorney for a big proof.
Do we have to vote on that?
Yeah, it's an ordinance, so you have to vote on it unanimously and pass it in one reading, otherwise we'll have to turn back next time and do it.
Okay,
Then make the motion that we approve that. The ordinance of the city of Silsbee, Texas canceling the May 2nd, 2026 city election, declaring each unopposed candidate elected to the office.
Unanimous.
Unanimous.
And waive the, waiving the second.
have a second.
Come on.
And wait a second.
Yeah,
Okay, we got a motion and a second. And then all in favor? Opposed? Congratulations, guys. You get 2 more years. Okay?
That's good.
All right. Hang on then.
Say no.
I'm gonna let her. And
Okay,
I
now the request for an executive session.
oh,
Do we have to have two people in favor of that, or?
no, we have pending or contemplating the litigation of, and we have B and C, every C.
Okay, going into executive session, this is for pursuant to Texas Code, Government Code 55-1.071-1A to consult the city attorney on pending conflict-related litigation. And did you say C?
Yeah.
Pursuant to Texas Code Section 551.071-2 to consult the city attorney on a matter in which the duty of the attorney to the government federal body under the Texas disciplinary rules of professional conduct of the state bar of Texas clearly conflicts with this chapter. Okay?
Saying what say.
Okay? Be back.
Here we go.
I'm sorry, you just.
You have executive session, you can't take any action in the executive session. So if they decide they want to have any action, they'll have to come back into the meeting, restart it, and have any votes and votes.
We don't have the put in they stand there, but not their great litigation and discussion, disciplinary action. Yeah. Someone's getting tough. I'd like to know if they answer it. That is if they're gonna act on it. You know, they're not do that. Oh, I mean, sign it. South Korea or 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 South Korea. Wait, that's it. Because I was spoken. I thought said that he said, look, what one this it kind of the bill. Let's see.
Call this meeting back into order at 7 p.m.
8 o'clock.
Oh, the clock. Okay. I've been seeing something wrong with that clock all evening. That's what it is. Okay. At 8 p.m., we're calling this meeting back into order. And, not gonna take any action on this at this time.
How this
But we will bring up the discussion at the next record scheduled meeting of the Silsbee City Council.
can put shit
In dark. So do we have a motion to adjourn?
that vote the guests. And that
Okay, all in favor?
Please second.
Okay.
they're gonna say what
David, I think.